Hi everyone. So today I've got a completed make to show you and a mini fabric haul. Welcome to this week's edition of Friday Sews. Hi everyone, my name's Laura and I'm the Carpe Diem Stitcher. So in this week's episode of Friday Shows, I've got a completed make to show you and some new fabric and in fact one new pattern. But just to start off quickly with what I'm wearing wearing a Tilly and the Buttons Nora top, and it's made in this lovely warm rainbow fleece, which I can't quite remember where I bought it from, but I'll check and I'll put it in the description below. And I talked about the Nora in my seamstress tag last week as my most made pattern. And I think I said I made it in a size 3 for me, but when I checked back, I actually didn't. I made it in the UK size 4, so size 12, Tilly size 4. So the pattern, or my version of the pattern, and I'll check if the sizes have been extended, comes at a UK size 6, which is 30-inch bust, 24-inch waist and a 33-inch hip. And it goes up to a UK size 20, which is 44-inch bust, 38-inch hip and a 38-inch waist and a 47-inch hip. And I made the size 4, which comes in at 36-inch bust, a 30-inch waist and a 39-inch hip, which is more or less what I am now, maybe a little bit smaller on the bust. I think because it's got a fair amount of ease in the pattern, if I hadn't made it in such a thick fabric like a fleece, I probably could get away with a size 3, Tilly size 3. But because of making sure that I could get a top underneath it and also getting my neck through the neckband, I sized up. So that's what I'm wearing today. Comes down to about thigh length and it's really snuggly and warm. Today's been a work from home day for me, and as you probably know, in the UK we've had Storm Eunice and I'm in South Wales, so we got hit quite badly. So I hope you're all safe. I've managed to stay snugly warm while I've been working today, and I hope everyone is safe. So that's what I'm wearing today. So on to my completed make, and I do apologise if you can hear meowing in the background. My husband's cooking and one of our cats gets really kind of excited when he's in the kitchen, so you can probably hear meowing. And Lovejoy is actually in with me, so you may find he tries to put in an appearance at some point. He loves being in the sewing room. He thinks it's a magical room, but he won't stay in it if I'm not here. It's very strange. Anyway, on to my completed make. So I mentioned last week that I was in the process of finishing sewing up a Prima skirt pattern. This is the Prima pattern from New Year 2021, and I have made and now finished the third version, so with this slit up the front and the top stitching all the way down the front. Rather confusingly, skirt number 3 then turns into view B when you actually come to make the pattern up, so that can be a little bit confusing, and in fact it confused me when I was trying to follow the instructions. So it's fairly straight down pattern. I'll put some footage here of me wearing it, probably a video where I'm doing a bit of twirling, and apologies if I look a bit glazed. I've been sitting in a car for 2 hours in the last storm trying to drive home, so that might have been why I look a bit confused in the video. Okay, so onto the pattern then. So it's not the world's most size inclusive pattern, I should start off by saying. So it comes from a size 10, which is a waist of 25 inches and a hip of 37 inches. The measurements in the pattern are actually in centimetres, but I've converted it. And it goes up to a size 20, which is a waist of 34 inches and a hip of 44 inches. And the pattern tells you to pick the size that's closest to your hip and then adjust on the waist if necessary. So when I looked at this, I would fall somewhere between a 14 and a 16 on the hip. But in fact, I got the pattern pieces out and measured them, and there was a fair amount of ease in the pattern. So I crossed my fingers very tightly and I cut a size 12 at the waist, and then I graded it out to a size 14. And in fact, the fit is really nice. So here's the skirt. Hopefully by this time you will have seen some footage of me actually wearing it. I wore it to work on Wednesday. Really liked it. It's really comfortable. It's made in this slightly stretchy blue denim that I got from Higgs and Higgs on my road trip up to Gloucester about, it's a while ago now, probably about, it was August. It was August we went. So yes, and I really like it, and it's super comfortable. And it's got these really nice deep pockets. And then at the back it's got this invisible zip fastening and this slightly extended waistband so that you can sew on a hook and eye. So I probably should have set the little zip a little bit higher up, and that's obviously something to think about for next time. And I think there probably will be a next time because I really like the pattern. In terms of actually how it's sewed up, I had two main issues with it really. One was that because I was terrified that it wasn't going to fit, and I was not going to do 4 rows of top stitching down the front until I knew it did, I basted the sides together, tried it on and thought, great, it fits, so I sewed them together. And what I probably should have done was actually undo the basting, then do the top stitching on the front, which is what the skirt pattern instructions tell you to do the top stitching and then join the front to the back. And I didn't. I sewed it up, which meant it was a bit awkward and a bit fiddly trying to do the 4 rows of top stitching. But fortunately I've got an edge stitching guide foot, so you can actually set the distance for your stitching, and that really helped. But yes, there was a lot of fiddling around and it was a bit awkward. So that was the first problem I had. And then the second problem I had was that when I came to do the waistband, so that was cut on the fold, it went all the way around the skirt, but it didn't do the little extension past where you sew your hook and eye. And it was a bit confusing because it's actually the same size waistband for all 3 pattern styles. And it also said to cut it perpendicular to the grain and not in line with it. So that was really confusing as well. So in the end, I had just enough fabric to recut the waistband, extended it a little bit, and then went ahead and cut it so it was parallel to the grain and then put it in. And it's absolutely fine, but it did cause me a couple of moments of angst because obviously the waistband was more or less the last thing you do, apart from the hem, and I thought, oh no, it's not going to fit after all this, but it was all fine in the end. So, and the only other change I made, apart from doing the waistband, redoing the waistband slightly differently, was I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yes. I mitered the corners just on the inside where the top stitching of the seam at the front slit comes down and meets the hem, because I thought it was a bit neater and a bit less bulky. So I just put a mitered corner in. And so in order to get that nice and equidistant, I've actually ended up with a skirt that's just very slightly longer than the pattern intends it to be, but I think it's absolutely fine and I really like it on. So I'm very pleased with it. Would I make it again? Yes, I would. So that's my skirt. I've actually now got Lovejoy in the room with me, so shall I just show you really quickly? There he is. Excuse the sight of my sewing desk. So he's just sitting there. So that's Lovejoy, just since he's here. I know quite a lot of you like cats, so yeah, there he is. So the one pattern I've got to show you is another Prima pattern, which arrived in the post from my mum, given to her by her friend. And this is a hoodie. So that's great. It's called, what's it say? Hooray for the Hoodie, it's called. And it's just got 2 versions, one made in all-in-one fabric and then the other one which is just colour blocking. And I did say in my first video, my sewing objectives video, that I'd like to have a go at some leisure wear. So I might give that one a go instead of the Stella hoodie or some of the other ones I've got. But yeah, pretty nice pattern, so may well try that out. And I did buy another pattern actually this morning, and that was the layer jumpsuit from Fibre Mood, but I haven't printed it out yet. It's PDF, so I did get that. Oops, me and my pattern addiction. And then I have fabric to show you. I did say last week there may have been fabric buying, and there was fabric buying, and it's arrived. So here we go then. I've got 3 pieces of fabric to show you. So the first one is this really pretty, I think. This was a kind of, I had to have it, I just really liked it kind of purchase. It's coming up a bit black on the camera. It's actually a very dark navy with these really pretty outlines of roses on it in a kind of gold and bronze. And when I saw it on, this is from Jelly Fabrics, and when I saw it on the website, they only had 1 metre left in stock, and I messaged them and said, are you going to get any more in? And they said no. And I hummed and hawed, and then I thought, well, if I don't find anything I want to make for within 1 metre, I can always put it with some plain navy jersey fabric and make something that way. So I ordered it anyway because I just really liked it. And then when it arrived, it actually says on the packing note that there's actually 1.2 metres. So I might be lucky and I might get something out of it just as is. And if not, I'll put it with another fabric. So that's the first one. So yeah, I just think that's really pretty, really elegant. Kind of thing you could make something to go out for dinner and go somewhere smart, somewhere nice. That's if we're allowed out, of course, which is improving slowly. Right, so my second fabric is about as different from being elegant and sophisticated as you could get. So a bit like this top, you've probably spotted that I do like my bright colours. And this is called, I've got the order, sorry, excuse the rustling. Colourful Lollies on blue paint splatter cotton jersey fabric. So if you see, if I just hold that a bit closer, you can see the paint splatters on the background, and then lots and lots of different styles of ice lollies and cones. And this is another cotton jersey, and I got 2 meters of this, and I think this will just make a really nice top, or possibly even a couple of tops for the summer. So I don't have any firm plans for this yet, but again, I saw it on the website. This came from Little Legs Fabrics. So I said in my video last week, I really like Little Legs Fabrics and I really like Jelly Fabrics for jersey, and lo and behold, I've got 2 more lots of fabric, one from each of them. So yes, that's the second one, and that will become a top nearer the summer, I would think. So that's that one. And then finally, I've got this one. So this is the one that I would say of the 3 is most likely to get sewn up in the near future. In fact, it's certain to get sewn up in the near future, because this is the fabric that I've bought for my Sew Yellow for Endo, the challenge run by Jess from So What If I Sew, Sew Yellow for Endo for 2022, because you can see if I hold it a bit nearer the camera and try not to drop it in my tea, you can see it's a leopard print with what looks like, it looks as if it's kind of been attacked by marker pen and all the leopard print's been filled in by one of those bright neon yellow marker pens. But I chose it because I think I said last week, I've got to, I think yellow can sometimes end up wearing me a bit. So the odd bit of yellow I quite like, and I think again with this is something I will actually reach for. Whereas I've made a top last year, I think I put it up in my first video, a yellow top with owls on, which is what I made for Sew Yellow for Endo, and I already had the fabric and I really liked it, but I'm never very sure if it suits me. So I think this will, because I think it's sufficiently broken up that I'm not going to feel like it's wearing me, even though it's a really loud leopard print. But that's fine. Really loud leopard print I can do, no problem. So I got this from Dalston Mill Fabrics, and it was on sale. So it was £5 something, I think, per metre. You could only buy it in metres, but it was reduced from £12 a metre. So I'll put a link to that in the description if you can still get it. But yes, I'm really pleased with that. And I think because it was a bit less expensive, then but it's really good quality. I'll be able to use it to try a pattern out and make sure I'm happy and that it fits okay before I maybe cut into something that I paid a bit more for. So that's my fabric, and I've told you about my patterns, and I've shown you my skirt. And so for this weekend, you might have remembered that I also said I was going to try and get started on some pyjamas, which is a kind of pair of pyjamas that isn't, because I'm making a top for me to go with some pyjama bottoms that didn't fit my aunt, and then I'm making some replacement pyjama bottoms for my aunt to fit her. So I've got them all cut out, made all the pattern alterations that I wanted, and they're in this plastic wallet. I think it was the Zipper Foot on Instagram who recommended these. She used to be on Instagram quite a lot, and the idea of just when you cut stuff out, keeping everything together in a plastic wallet, and I think it's a really good idea. And the other thing I did do was I bought some of the pale yellow ribbing that is on the pyjama bottoms, because I decided that I'd got some bright yellow ribbing that I could have maybe used on the top, and in the end I decided I didn't want to. I wanted it all to match. So I've just ordered some more, and I'm waiting for that. But I only need it for the cuffs on the top, and so that's fine. I can just finish that off when it arrives. So that's going to be this weekend, and so that's it for this week. Bit of a shorter video. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who's watched one or both of my first couple of videos and liked them and subscribed. Thank you so much. If you're enjoying this content, then please do like and subscribe, and please do leave me a comment down below. What are you sewing? Do you have any plans? Do you like the fabrics? Have you bought any fabric recently? I'd really like to be able to engage a bit more with you in the comments. So please do like and subscribe. I'll leave a link to my previous Friday sews at the end of the video. So if I've mentioned stuff and this is your first video and you want to go back and watch that one, then please do. So I hope everyone's safe, and I hope everyone has getting the chance to do some sewing this weekend. And it is now about 7:30, and Ruan and Sam are going to be doing a live on YouTube about their Sew Frugal 2022. So I think I might go off and watch that while I'm editing this video. So take care everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.